B-boy. From the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East coast to the west, B-boys worldwide. We supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading back out west to finish off our 3-episode Likwit Crew roundtables. First appearing on albums by King T and Tha Alkaholiks, this MC proved he could come out of the camp as a solo artist and succeed with his distinct voice, above average lyrics, and raw delivery. X to the Z proved he was more than just a host on MTV. He's a true MC. I was a poet and I didn't even know it. This week, top 10 Xzibit songs. We got a full house. Joining me, as always, Raven Hunter's here. We got the Hurricane back in the house. Diz Mega is here. And Ben Neumann is here. We got a full house. Let's talk about some Xzibit and get the show on the road, not the road on the show. My number 10, from his debut album, 1996's At the Speed of Life, which I think is my favorite album. A lot for nostalgia, but it's also dope. I'm going with the song The Foundation. I'm a sucker for these type of songs. It's about his son trying to, his son's just born and trying to school him on life. And this beat by DJ Muggs of Cypress Hill is just perfect vibe for this song. The piano, the harmonizing in the background of the chorus just all fits so well. And it's a great concept, telling his baby boy what he needs to know as he grows. So these songs always get me, and this just squeezed back on the list yesterday, but I'm a sucker. So my number 10 was The Foundation. Kane, you're up. What's yours?
That was my number 11. I wanted that song on my list too, but I didn't get it on there. My number 10 is Play This at My Funeral off of what'd you say the new album was? Kingmaker.
Yeah.
I had to put this song on there because what a cool idea. What a cool idea to make a song. No hook. You're just rapping about your life and you're telling the people what you want to tell them, and they play it at your funeral. And I would love to make a song like this.
I'm glad that made it. That was flirting with my number 10 the last couple days. That is a great song. Raven, you are up, number 10.
That is a great song. That will be talked about later. But number 10, I went with 40 Days and 40 Nights album. I went with 3-Card Molly with Raz-Kass and Saphir. What a dope beat. What a dope song. I love Raz-Kass. He does not get enough credit or get talked about enough. So I had an opportunity to sneak him in on this list because I don't hear his name enough, period, in hip-hop.
And Saphir, too, who just passed away like a month ago. Really underrated.
And he's super underrated. Most people would never even heard that name, unfortunately.
Yeah, he had a couple really good solo albums. Actually, Chino was on one of his solo albums. Yeah, 3-Card Molly, honorable mention. Another one that was flirting in the top 15. And Raz-Kass is lyrical as hell. He doesn't get the credit for his lyrical ability, probably, that he deserves. Diz, you are up. What's your number 10?
All right, my number 10, I went with the explicit album version from Weapons of Mass Destruction. We got Rick Rock on the beat here, and it says it features Jelly Roll. I don't know how, if he's in the hook or what he's doing there. Interesting though. The West Coast Jelly Roll,
Right.
That's just on the Spotify. Whatever, maybe it's the wiki, it says featuring Jelly Roll, but I didn't catch it. Anyways, if I had one song to hook somebody or to introduce them to Xzibit, at first I might go easy and pick this one right here. It's kind of a fun song. Later, on my list, Xzibit gets a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like a lot of times he just dumbs himself down just to get down, but when he doesn't do that, damn, it's pretty crazy. So I love that he can fit the shoe or wherever he needs to be without really selling out much. And this is just one of those great fun songs in my opinion. I liked it. Motherfucker, the beat is knocking, and I had to go on my list, so made that number 10.
You guys are killing it. That was an honorable mention too. And Weapons of Mass Destruction was my biggest surprise out of all this. I loved that record.
Great.
And I don't remember loving it that much. I bought it, listened to it, and then kind of forgot about it. It is a really solid record, and I wish I could have put more than I ended up putting. So I'm glad it's getting some love. But at number 9, I ain't going to that album. I'm going to 2000's Restless. Now, At the Speed of Life is my favorite. This probably is his best, most cohesive album. And I'm going with the song that always puts a smile on my face, Fucking You Right. I know a lot of sex, pussy songs don't age well from back in the day, and this is, well, I guess 24 years ago. But the comedic element to this, I think, helps it not be so cringy as some other ones. But what a concept, right? Saying you're cheating just to help us. I'm doing it for you. And the concept is just great. And she doesn't even appreciate it. The beat by Superfly, and who doesn't get talked about enough, very underrated. Does a lot of stuff with Snoop. He produced this beat. And damn, it's just great concept. It always makes me fucking smile. And the twist that when he's like, you don't even appreciate what I'm doing for you. Like I'm trying to help us. Like she's the fucking bad one, right? Great.
Little skit at the end.
Yeah, it's Superfly talking all pimpish, right? So fucking you right. It just makes me smile. So yeah, that was my number 9. Kane, what is yours?
You want me to do
Mine
number 10
is
first?
Did I
Heart of
skip you
Man.
again?
Yeah.
Again, you got him
Oh no, my
again.
bad.
I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
We are.
I told you
can't
you were
believe
going
I
to start
did
on
that.
number 4.
I can't believe. Yeah, right. You did. You did.
Want me just to do
That's the
2 of them in
penalty.
a row? Or what?
No, you can do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Number
Okay.
10. No, Ben, give me your number 10.
Well, you kind of set it up for me because normally I wouldn't pick sex rhymes, but I went with Man vs. Machine and Choke Me, Spank Me.
Mhm.
I just thought it was a dope ass song. Shit's it's very catchy too. Like
The hook.
I didn't want it on the list, but I was like, you know what? I dig that shit, so I'm putting it on. So that's my number 10.
It's definitely like an earworm hook, though.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sticks in your head, no
Definitely.
doubt. All right, I ain't gonna miss you anymore. Promise. All right, now, Kane, what is your number 9?
Mine is Heart of Man off of Man versus Machine. I love that they use a sample of an old 80s song called Africa, and it's done so well. Something I really noticed with listening to Xzibit and going through all of his stuff, like crazy good beats. Like I remember, he had Dre produce him. He had, Scott Storch on songs that Rick Ross, like he's has all these people, but I didn't remember how good these beats were. And them doing this that Africa beat in this is just dope. And the concept of the song is also awesome also. Talking about taking advantage of the time you have here and appreciating every day, and it's a really dope song.
Nah, number 9, Raven. I'm so worried about keeping everyone in line now. Raven, what's your number 9?
I jumped to Speed of Life for the Foundation. I love that beat, and I like the concept and just the flow. I love about Xzibit. He's got this perfect. He walks these perfect lines between this indie sound to this underground, and then extremely mainstream West Coast, and then just kind of like that art house in the middle. Like X kind of walks through all walks of that, and I love that about him. And the Foundation, just good flow, good concept. I like it a lot.
You're right. He can do like almost like a backpack rapper. He could be
Mhm.
straight West Coast gangsta shit. He can be
He spit
more,
fast. He spit
yeah,
slow. Like,
so versatile. No, definitely no doubt about it. Yeah, good song. That's why I picked it. Number 9 for you, Diz.
Number 9, I went to his first record and pulled out Positively Negative featuring King T. I mean, I love the beat, man. It's so old school, but it's dope. This was a really good record. And I can't say that I listened to it a lot back in the day, but just running through it again over the week, man, I get how I kind of just like glazed over it back in the day, but now looking at it through a different ear, just seeing these two juggernauts now, on the same track. King T was already a legend, and Xzibit is kind of forming his legend, and he's doing it on this beat here, and it makes for like a one of those timeless tracks that you're just like, damn, And I had to make my top 10. I love it. Positively Negative, King T. That's my 9, man.
That I'm so glad someone picked it. That will be talked about later. the back and forth, it
Mhm.
holds up so well. Such a dope song. Yeah, I'm glad someone else liked. I never imagined anyone else would have picked that, so that's great. Ben, you're number 9.
9, I went to Restless, and I went with Don't Approach Me with them. I feel like that was when it was like M Mania, so I can just imagine how much those motherfuckers were getting just like you couldn't walk 10
Right.
feet just get dogged, you know? So I just, the former straight line, like it was,
Yeah.
I always loved that song. And I thought they really worked well together on it. So that's my number 9.
All right, we are to number 8, and I'm going to go to another album I haven't hit yet, 1998's 40 Days and 40 Nights. Now, this was an album I loved when it came out, and I still like it, but this one didn't age as well as the others, in my opinion. It kind of had a little different vibe than his other stuff, but I'm going with the single, What You See Is What You Get. Because the beat, I really love this beat by Jesse West. It's a certified headbanger. I remember buying the CD single before the album drop, and it's got a weird picture. He's like wearing a bomb squad vest, not like the producer's bomb squad, like a cop who's going to defuse a bomb, like that big damn bomb suit. I don't know why. But X brings it lyrically, just gets me in a certain vibe. And I don't know, it always hit me, maybe because I listened to the single so much, waiting for the album to drop. But What You See Is What You Get was my number 8. Kane, what's yours?
We got Symphony in X major off of Man versus Machine. You're gonna hear this from me a bunch talking about his beats. And you just said it too. Like they take this, and I'm not gonna do it justice trying to explain it, but they take this part of the Sebastian Bach composition and they use part of it for the chorus, part of it for the verses, and how it transitions, and it's just next level stuff. Rick Rock is the one who produces that too, and with Xzibit's deep voice over it, it's just this like menacing, like it's so dope.
And it's a great start to that album too, which I always praise. Good, early songs. Another honorable mention, Raven. What's your number 8?
I went to 2004's Weapons of Mass Destruction for King California LAX. I love that song. I love that beat. Shotgun Fanatic who right back at it. You got mopped and dropped like a filthy habit. He just goes off in that shit, and the beat is so dope. And I love that album, but that song just that glares off that disc for me.
And again, that's the start of the album. I mean,
Yep.
it makes such a difference, in my humble opinion. No, I'm glad Weapons of Mass Destruction's already getting all this love. I was like, will anyone pick? I kind of got after the King T episode when I thought everyone was going to pick For Life and everyone hated it. I was like, ooh, maybe no one's going to pick this. Maybe people don't have the same taste I do. Diz, what's your number 8?
Number 8, boy, from Man versus Machine, Losing Your Mind. Dr. Dre produced track. It's a great Dr. Dre beat. Across these Xzibit albums, a couple of them, sneakily, Dr. Dre does his best work on there, quietly almost. Like, it doesn't, when you're talking about Dre's best work, rarely is Xzibit's albums mentioned. But what we're seeing here is Dr. Dre, some of his best work, actually. This one right here is one of my favorites. You got Snoop Dogg in there for good measure, too. It's like a West Coast anthem. I couldn't ignore it, man. That one had to be number 8 from the Man versus Machine record.
And X's voice does work so well over a Dr. Dre style production. I mean,
So gritty.
it's a marriage made in history, no doubt about it. Ben, you're number 8.
8, I went with 40 Days and 40 Nights with What You See Is What You Get.
Good
We
pick.
already kind of touched on it. The single, it came out strong after that first record. So, like you said, that album didn't age that well.
Yeah, I didn't
but
think
that
so.
song still hits. So, yep, gave that some love.
We are at number 7, and I'm going back to 2000's Restless. And it was talked about before, Don't Approach Me, featuring Eminem. I mean, you pretty much hit it all. It's a great subject matter, especially for them at the height of fame. And yeah, the beat was also made by Eminem, who has a really just signature production sound. Like you can almost always picture or pick out an Eminem produced beat. And he was really trying his hand at producing, this era into the next like 3 or 4 years. He was doing beats for Jay-Z and Nas and all these big names. But yeah, otherwise we covered it all. Don't approach me. My number seven, Kane, you are up.
Yeah, bird's eye view off of At the Speed of Life. This one features two members of the Alcoholics, Tash and J-Ro. I can't wait to hear the roundtable you guys did on that. I was disappointed I couldn't be on that one. But them and Xzibit and King T and they when they all work together, I know King T's not on this one, but when they all work together, they sound so good all together. It's really, it's individual styles that are really working good together. X has that real grimy stuff. It sounds like they're like back with their friends, like getting fucked up at the party. Like it's a cool song.
Another honorable mention, and I always thought because their chemistry is so great that they should have made like a Likwit Crew super group album, kind of like Def
Yeah.
Squad with Redman, Keith Murray, and Eric Sermon. If they would have
Man,
made an album, King T, The Licks, and Exhibit, that would have
That would
been
have been insane.
so dope. Oh my God. I always secretly wish that was one of the things my wish list for albums that would come out. Honorable mention, definitely. Raven, you are up at number seven.
Number seven, I skip back to Speed of Life for Positively Negative with King T because I love that beat and I love King T's verse in that song. I think they X kills it as always, but I loved I've got a newfound love for King T and I really like this song.
I love that back and forth between them. Number seven for you, Diz.
All right. I went with Loaded. This is off the Serial Killers album, Summer of Sam. He did a lot of work with Be Real on since like I think it's 2013 they formed this group with Demrick. And it's the only song that I chose out of their entire library because I haven't heard it. But this one really stuck out to me. Loaded, Serial Killers. Be Real and Exhibit actually have a pretty good history of doing features together. And I don't think that that's really talked about too much these days because, well, it's not 2000 anymore. But Be Real and Exhibit have been doing some dope ass tracks together. So far, this one has been one of my favorites. Demrick, I've heard him on Be Real's record and here and there everywhere, but hearing this group together puts him back on the radar for me, anyways. And Exhibit does what he does, man. It's just a dope track. I gotta dig more into these Serial Killer records, but this track right here I found was one of my favorites, and I thought worthy of being on the top 10. If anything, puts Serial Killers out there on this episode. So that's what I got.
And not only the Be Real connection, the Muggs connection from Cypress Hill as well.
Yep.
Production. And there's a song I'm just thinking about now, I didn't even think about on the Soul Assassins 2 compilation. It's Exhibit and King T. Really, really dope song. Uh, I can't remember the name. People check it out. It's on the Soul Assassins 2, and it's Exhibit and King T over this like dark, gritty Muggs beat. It's the shit. No, I wish I would have listened to it. It might have made my list, but no, I'm glad to put that out there. We've never talked about, those projects. So yeah, yeah, interesting. Number seven. Ben, what is your number seven?
Seven, I'm on Man vs. Machine, and I went with Break Yourself. Just love the beat, and I love his flow on that song. Yeah, just a dope ass Exhibit song.
When Man vs. Machine came out, I remember, I loved Restless. I liked Man vs. Machine, but I felt like it didn't live up to Restless. But this is another one that I thought aged really well, looking back on it. And we'll go to number six. And I'm going to 2004's Weapons of Mass Destruction, the album whose dick I am all on because I just really love this album after listening to it again. And you brought it up before, Raven, I believe. LAX. Amazing way to start out this album. This beat by the legendary Sir Jinx from the Ice Cube camp. Man, another person who needs more props is Sir Jinx, but this beat is so hard. It's like apocalyptic apocalyptic and futuristic and just a dope beat. And as always, I talk about simple but effective hooks that stick in your head. And X brings it as hard as ever. Just a great start to this record. It was glad someone else thought so too. LAX, man, that beat by Sir Jinx, amazing. So Kane, what is 6 on your list?
Yeah, Forever a G off of Napalm. I didn't even really, I guess, know this Napalm album when it came out. Maybe I heard of it, maybe I listened to it once, but I didn't remember it at all. And I was pleasantly surprised with it. It has a lot of like the songs that I really like, the real emotion songs talking about like real life stuff. And this song, he's talking about, being himself and just being true to himself, and that's being forever a G. And I love that message.
Both Napalm and Full Circle, even though I had them and heard them before we did this, I don't know how many songs I could have named off the top of my head. Maybe a couple. Though I had completely wiped those almost from my memory bank. Or Weapons of Mass Destruction, once I started listening to it, they rang bells. On Full Circle and Napalm, it was not a lot of bells ringing in my head. But like you said, it was a solid record, definitely. Raven, number 6.
Number 6. I went back to Restless and I went to Don't Approach Me with Eminem. Just because dope beat and like it's been said, Eminem that was the height of his firing on all cylinders, you know what I mean? And I know he's done like 3 or 4 songs with X, but this has always been kind of that standout. It's just that the anger that you hear in the voice for some reason. I just love that shit.
Yeah, you still had a hungry Eminem, right? He was still a hungry MC. He was still trying to
And you could
prove,
hear it in the
right.
voice.
That's why that version or that era of Eminem is just a little bit
Nasty.
different than all the other ones. The hunger, you can hear it in his voice. Damn, that's a good song. Everyone almost has picked it. Number 6, Diz.
Well, I went with it's called My Name. This is
Mhm.
also Eminem and Nate Dogg. Eminem and Resto on the Beat. Man versus Machine album. Nate Dogg is just simply my favorite on this track. Nate Dogg and Xzibit sound so good. I think Eminem is a bonus here. Um, these guys, West Coast icons, of course. The track here, I just can't get that hook out of my head. And that's all in props to Nate Dogg, rest in peace. Just his genius and the talent that he had. Mix him up with these two guys, and of course they made a classic. So My Name, I don't know, love it, man. X to the Z, classic verse. These guys are just great here. So that had to be my number 6.
And that's a really hard, another beat produced by Eminem. It's just so
Mhm.
hard. They just spit hard on that track. Number 6 for you, Ben.
I'm on Weapons of Mass Destruction with Motherfucker. What a fun song. Just the hook is just that 2000 fun shit. Like much more what to say, but it's just a fun ass song. Like
What's also funny is he put it out as a single, a song called
yeah,
Motherfucker.
yeah, yeah. Like how
The
does
first
that
single too, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
What
A
single. Called Motherfucker.
motherfucker.
I don't think it hit the charts. So
Yeah. Rising to number 4 today on Top 40. It's Xzibit.
Eminem.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Which brings us to the halfway mark. I'm going to hop back to his debut, 96's At the Speed of Light. And it's been talked about Positively Negative with King T. I love that people are bringing this up. Just that, like I said, back and forth template. They're upping their game lyrically. X kills it, but I think King T even is a little bit notch above him. And super dope beat with great scratching, great beat drops, just hip hop, right? And when T says things like, "Sometimes I fright like I'm the ghost of Eric Wright," and it says 96. Easy's only been dead a year, so it's fresh and it's just always caught my ear. So, I love King T. So that was my number 5. Kane, you were up.
I got acts off of Restless. Beats again. I was like, do I put this song on there? It's such a well-known song. Do I? But every time I listened to it, I was like, it has to go on the list. This beat is ridiculous. I love how when he raps, he sounds that deep, that gritty, like, and it works really well over this beat.
Yeah, that was the first single. It was an honorable mention too, because it is a dope song. And if it's on, I'm rapping along with it every time,
Right.
no matter how many times I heard it. Um, so yeah, I was assuming someone would bring that up, so I let that slip off my list without too much of a worry.
I thought about it. And I was
Uh,
every time, I put it on my list, but every time it came on, and the drop at the beginning, I was, yeah, the organ, like
right.
that's just so.
Raven, what is number 5 on your list?
I'm gonna stick to the same album Kev was just on, but I'm gonna jump to the third single, "Get Your Walk On," because I love that beat, man. Just such a dope West Coast track. And again, the beats on Restless are so fucking good. And I think Dre did a bunch. Melman, I think, did some beats on
Yep.
that album. Just it's such a good fucking. The beats make that album.
And Melman is like Dre's right-hand man in that era, so
Facts.
you're getting high quality with him too. Yes, another honorable mention. That's just like such a West Coast type song, just West Coast gangster shit. Diz, what is your number 5?
All right, back on the rest list, we got X.
There it
Dre
is.
and Mailman on the beat here. I think this is his biggest single success. So
Probably.
I'm not trying to put it on my list because I'm like, yeah, that's his, by the numbers, that's his best song. I think it deserves to be on my top 10. I enjoy it, but it's not my number one. I got to stick it somewhere in the middle here at 5. So I got to go with X. Iconic song, of course, unforgettable. This is one that you're going to have on any Xzibit top 10 playlist, I would think, out there. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
No, it probably was his biggest single. Just think off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because that album probably is easily his best-selling album. That was kind of the peak sales-wise for him. Ben, what is your number 5?
5, I'm on Restless and I'm with drugs and alcohol. There's a line like when he's like, the penny pincher with the whole line of come and get you. You get the picture, or do I got to let him hit you? Like that shit is constantly in my mind. As soon as you say Xzibit, that for some reason, I mean, there's not a lot to it. Like it's not, you don't need to overthink about it, but there's something about that shit that's in my head. So he did a good job writing that. So
It always amazes me the lines that stick in my head from
yeah,
songs. Bar here, 2 bars here, and
yeah.
we are on number 4. And for the first time, I'm going to 2002's Man vs. Machine. I'm going with My Name featuring Eminem because this ish right here goes hard. And I meant to say it in that accent. Eminem on the beat. They both just kill it with lyrics and flow. They're both taking shots at the feuds they're in at that point in time. And you think it can't get any better? Nate Dogg's on the hook. Song just gets me hype, ready to fight. Damn, so damn good. So My Name was my number 4. Kane, you're up.
I got Alcoholic off of Restless. The chorus on this one gets me every time. Call it what you wanna call it. I'm a
I'm a
fucking
fucking
alcoholic.
alcoholic.
Um, Exhibit, Tash, J-Ro, and throwing E-Dub. Like it's
Mhm.
dope song. They work so well off each other.
That was another honorable mention, and yeah, the Eric Sermon on there, and he fit right in. Raven, what is number 4 to you?
Number 4, I went with "Play This at My Funeral," which is a new single from
Yep.
Kingmaker. God damn, I love the beat, and I know I saw so many people online when this came out talking about how this was boring or it just felt uninspired. Nah, that shit was just from start to finish dope. I side-eyed the love and the shout out to Scientology, but other than that, it's just
All
a
right.
dope fucking song.
I did notice that Scientology line.
Yeah.
Um,
It's got me excited for that new album though.
right. No doubt. I don't know how people could hate on that as like even the video where it's
Facts.
really, really dope. It hurt me not to put it on. I'm glad multiple people got it on. Diz, number 4.
Oh, number 4, going to 40 Days and 40 Nights. What you see is what you get. We got Jesse West, who's pretty legendary as a producer. At least he's got a lot of history. Giving this a little bit of an East Coast flavor, but one of his I don't know, it was one of Biggie's first producers anyways. But I love the track. The way it starts, man, it's like it's almost biblical, like the things that he says. And if you notice in a lot of his songs, he sneaks some of that scripture like stuff in, which also tells me this guy has a brain on him, because I can understand like some of these metaphors that he uses is just great. I like the name dropping in here that he has, nods to King T, little diss to Flavor Flav. And the song was one of my favorites off of that record, 40 Days and 40 Nights, which I kind of dismissed when it first came out. Because honestly, Xzibit wasn't really on my radar, and seeing some of his features, I was like, yeah, this guy's probably a backpack rapper. I don't know. So it took a while for him to get into my rotation. But yeah, that one's a dope song. What you see is what you get.
Number 4, Ben.
I won't take too much time. You guys kind of already went over this one, but I went with X off Restless. Had to go on. Just a great song. I know it's the single, but
Singles can be good. Yeah, hell yeah. No doubt about it. All right, that brings us to the top 3. I'm going back to 98's 40 Days and 40 Nights. And almost on every list, maybe every other list, there's a song that is high on my list or even makes my list that I never can explain why. Like some songs just hit me and I can't even put words into why. They just do. I try to figure it out, but I can't. And this is one of those songs, and the song is called Los Angeles Times. And I remember hearing this on a Loud Records cassette sampler that came out before the album. And I played that sampler all the time. And maybe that plays a role in it, but I just love it. That Welcome to LA sample throughout the song and the hook is a great touch. It's like you're in an airport. Welcome to LA. Mailman on this beat, I don't know. I just always rap along to it when I hear it. I really can't tell you why. Los Angeles Times. I had to be real. That's one of my top 3 Xzibit songs. So it went to number 3. Kane, what is 3 to you?
Stand Tall off of Napalm. Again, this Napalm album, some really like true feeling songs. This song has a smooth beat, the singing on the chorus, X's deep voices again, all the stuff that I love. And the realness of like coming up, getting knocked back down, getting back up, overcoming, standing tall. Like such a good message again off this album.
Well, and my favorite, like unreal or personal song on that album hasn't even been brought up yet. And it didn't make my list, but it kind of proves how personal he got on this one, maybe compared to ones before it. Raven, what's your number 3?
Number 3, I went back to Restless, and I kind of felt like a hoe for putting multiple singles from that album on my list, but I went with X because it's that fucking beat, you know what I mean? But no, just X to Get Your Walk On. There was so many good singles from that, and I try not to usually just go with singles on these lists, but I could not put X on this list.
Yeah, I let it slide because I was so sure people would put it on, but it could have easily made my list. I just would have been 4 from Restless, and it's like I hate to have one album.
I've got like fucking half of them on my list, but it was just such a good album. So many good beats.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. Diz, you're up at number 3.
And number 3, his first record at the Speed of Light has Paparazzi on there. I didn't know I really liked that song, but I really do. I like it. I think the lyrics are cool, man. He's obviously he's got a different message here than this isn't like your typical gangster rap here, of course. But it has some deep meaning in it, and it probably got him dissed by the Outlaws even, I don't know if you remember that at all, but
a little bit. They had a back and forth.
Yeah, they got a little line there dissing him, but I think the track is cool. I think it's deserves to be in my top 3 just because it's so it's really stood the test of time. It's aged well, and a lot of the songs on that record actually have. So, but Paparazzi, it's got to be my favorite off of his first record, so it makes my number 3.
And that was the first single off his first record, so that was his big solo introduction. Memorable video. Ben, what is your number 3?
3. I'm not sure if this is allowed.
Bullshit.
So I went with What You See Is What You Get for my number 8.
Yeah.
But I went with What You See Is What You Get on the Loud Rocks compilation featuring Seven Dust for 3.
What a dope mix.
I forgot
Dope
about
mix.
that compilation, but I can picture it now. Yeah.
LaJohn Witherspoon's vocals for the hook just take that song to the next level. I
I have
feel
to check that out.
the subtle, it's like the same beat, but it's like some subtle guitar. And then with LaJohn's a great singer. So the way he sang that hook, I just thought that, I mean, I love the original, but then when that came out, I was like, God damn, that shit's dope as fuck. So it's on my list again, kind of.
No, that's not cheating. Trust me, people cheat way worse than that on this show.
Mhm.
But
Never.
but I completely forgot about that compilation. Although I don't remember that version of the song, I remember the compilation. Yeah, that's interesting. That was a interesting pick. I like left
That was
field.
the one that Everlast did. He covered Shook One's part 2.
Oh yeah,
Dope
yeah.
ass mix
I
of
gotta
that
listen
too.
to that. I gotta listen to that compilation again.
There's a Big Pun and the Incubus.
I know I have it. Yeah, that definitely has never been brought up on the show yet, that comp. So, all right, number 2. And for the last time, I'm heading to 2000's Restless, an album that's been talked about a lot, but no one has talked about this song. And it's my favorite song from this album. And that is the first actual song, front to back. From that first second with that hydraulic car noise, it hooks me. It gets me instantly. Then the hook comes in just a little part of the beat, and the beat builds up. And then when you hear, well, the real X to the Z, please stand up, and everything just hits you at once like a punch in the mouth. Whew, god damn, so damn good. And what I can't believe is this beat was done by Rockweiler, who's known for working with all these East Coast artists, right? And this beat is just so West Coast. I mean, can you get any West Coast sounding than this? X kills it lyrically. He rides that beat while pushing his verbal hydraulics. Great start to the album, sets it off perfectly. Just so damn good. It's that fucking hydraulic sound mixed in there that is just so perfectly done. So front and back was my number 2. Kane, what about you?
I got fucking you right off of Restless.
Ah,
I know it made it all the way up to number 2, but it is a funny ass song. I'm doing it for you.
yeah,
Like,
what the
what's the
fuck?
problem? I don't understand. The
Yeah.
skit at the end, like we talked about before, just it makes me laugh every time.
And that's what makes it the best. Like, don't you see I'm doing this for us? I'm trying to help our relationship, right?
Yeah. And his quicker flow and
Mhm.
Lisa.
Right, naming all the.
Yeah.
What an ungrateful woman Exhibit has. Psh. Raven, what is your number 2?
Number 2, I went back to Restless for the last time for the track with Eric Sermon, J. Rowe, and Tash, Alkaholic. And honestly, it's Tash's verse. God, thought Tash goes off in this song. He is so good. That flow. I mean, the Exhibit is great in that song too. And I love Eric Sermon. I love Eric's production on that track. But fuck, Tash just stole that show on that song.
That's great that too you brought that up because that it was an honorable mention, but it was done so well. And how Eric Sermon seamlessly fit in with that, West Coast sound. But his sound, even though different than like G Funk, was a funk based sound, so it makes sense that
Facts.
that it would work. But yeah, I know I always sing Eric Sermon's praises, but one of the best to ever do it. Diz, what's your number 2?
Number 2, man, I gotta go with Play This at My Funeral. Very recent single, of course. It's funny when you think about being a kid and you're like, gangster rap was for the grown-ups or whatever. And now when you're grown up, it's like, no, this song is for the grown-ups.
Yep.
That's kind of how I felt about it. It was one of the first songs that I listened to when I started down getting ready for this podcast here. And like it gave me like a different perspective on Xzibit. Some of the things that he's saying on here, he's like, obviously he's like, yeah, there's no hook, read a book, you guys have been in watching TV or whatever. We die alone and the birds keep chirping, some things never change, whatever. It's just such a deep song that I'm like, you know what, man, they should play this at my funeral. Somebody needs to hear this,
Right?
and they don't even know it. Just a great track. I don't know if you want to call it spiritual, boring, or whatever. I don't care. I love the song. It's number 2.
I love
love-
other people put that on there.
I love it too because I wanted to get it on there, and there's too much more classic stuff to me, but it is such a good song concept and just, and you're right, even the no hook adds to it. It's just straight.
Yep.
Such a great song.
Well, the fact he even points it out, he's like,
Right.
says
The
it, yeah.
hook. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a great pick. Ben, what's your number 2?
Going to Speed of Life. I know you got some of you already talked about it, but I went with Foundation. That song stuck out to me. It was just a little deeper, a little more emotional. And fuck, man, by the end of listening to it, I thought I had a kid.
Right.
So, and it hit me, and I was like, damn. But, shit.
Oh, this brings us to the top spot, number 1. And I'm going to take us to where it all began. 1996 is At the Speed of Life. It had to be this, Paparazzi. To me, this song is perfection. And I was waiting for his solo album because I'd heard him with King T and the Licks albums, and man, did he not disappoint. And great subject matter, cats selling out, trying to get famous and acting fake. But this beat, from the cello playing in the beginning to the vocal harmony in the background, and a memorable video. There's a full orchestra on the beach playing the instrumental. Every so often, maybe every 4 or 5 shows, I say, this is a song that gives me literal shivers up my spine. This is one of those songs. It gets me every single time. Paparazzi was my number 1 from the jump. I figured everything else out last. So, shit. Paparazzi, number 1, not only on my list, but in my heart. Kane, what's your number 1?
Got My Name off of Man vs. Machine. The beat, again, off the hook. M starts it out, just killing it. X comes in, just great. And then Nate Dogg on the hook. Like, it has all the elements that you want, the hard, the Nate Dogg on the hook, the dope beat. It's dope. I float like Big Spirit in this bitch. I'm ghostly. Like that, how it just starts out like that. Like,
well, even how he's spitting it just as hard.
Yeah.
It's almost as hard as the beat is. It reminds me, and maybe because it's the Nate Dogg element, but "Till I Collapse," the Eminem song with Nate on the hook. He's got that same flow where it's just like he's punching you in the face with the beat. So great. Raven, what's your number 1?
I had to go to where it all began. Paparazzi. I knew when you said we were doing Xzibit, number 1, Paparazzi. I don't think he's ever done a better song. As much as I love some of these other songs, that was the first time I really heard Xzibit's voice, and that gravelly, like, when I rap, I have that gravelly drawl in my voice, and that's why I don't know, maybe just drew me to him, but the beats, the flow, down to the video, everything, like you said, was absolutely perfect, and I'm really happy I wasn't the only one that had that number 1. But yeah, it was the first thing I did, Paparazzi, number 1.
Diz, what made your number 1?
Number 1 for me is off Weapons of Mass Destruction, LAX.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Look, man, this song is incredible. Like, the first time I heard it, I was like, holy crap, this is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my life. It's so well put together. The sound effects of the bombs, man, his sick flow, the dope scratching, he's directing that track, like yelling, sing it, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this track is awesome. This is my favorite Xzibit track. Maybe one of my top 10 tracks ever. I don't know. But I was just blown away by that song. And I knew that was my number 1 track, not even close for me. I love the Pray at My Funeral thing. So this was a lot of fun doing this, but LAX, so good. So that's my number 1.
I'm glad that other people pick that too, because it's such a great, and that I love that album's getting love. I know I said it before, but anyone who hasn't heard it in a while, go back, listen to Weapons of Mass Destruction. It holds up so well as a cohesive project to me. Just really, really enjoyed listening to that. We got 1 left. What is your number 1, Ben?
Extra large.
Yeah, another Paparazzi.
You guys already covered it. That shit is a fucking masterpiece. I remember when it came out, I had the single was out before the album, and I had the cassette single, and I wore the shit out of that fucker. To this day, that song holds up.
So Xzibit, honorable mentions. You guys got about half of them knocked out, but I have a lot of honorable mentions, more than usual. So I'll go through mine that was not brought up by anyone. The title track from At the Speed of Life, the song At the Speed of Life. From 40 Days and 40 Nights, there's a song called Inside Job, which is a straight storytelling track I really liked. From Restless, I thought someone would bring up You Know featuring Dr. Dre. And I also like Sorry I'm Away So Much with DJ Quick, another on the real type
Great
song.
song. Great
Great
song.
song. A little lesser known one from the Man vs. Machine bonus disc, if you got the limited edition 2-disc one. There's a song called What a Mess, and it's DJ Premier beat, which is an interesting combination, but it's a really good song. Also from Man vs. Machine, Missing You, another on the real. Enemies, Weapons of Mass Destruction, Criminal Set with that Ice Cube sample is done so well. Back to the Way It Was off that album. Full Circle, Rollin', Scandalous Bitches, and from Napalm, song called Meaning of Life, which is a great on the real type song too off that album, real personal. So those were my honorable mentions. Anything else we're missing?
Moving in Your Chucks with Corrupt. I think that was on Full Circle. Yeah. Yeah, Corrupt was in that. And that's a dope song. Too Short also was in that song.
Rampart Division, where he's playing as a crooked cop.
Yes,
Like,
that
his
is a good song.
storytelling on there is so cool, man. I love it. It's like, great storyteller.
Yeah, X can do it all from storytelling. I mean, he really can do every element of hip hop. And then, so it was fun listening to Xzibit. I can't wait for that new album to drop. If it's anything like that single, the funeral song, we're in for another great album by, a veteran. All right, take care, guys. Peace.
See ya.
See you guys.
Peace.
Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Two both for the school, still a B-boy. East coast to the west, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed. Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy.